with Franberry at Clonmel.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Yes, just hearing the hurls in the straight are still omitted here for our last hurl race of the evening. It's only 9 runners, but a competitive race at that. And Ballycashin has been a bit of a market springer there in shot. Are the hurls out in the home straight to 2 hurls, so 4 hurls on this circuit gone as well in the race, and be interesting to see how it pans out. At least they're off the track, there's no messing, having to bypass around the wings, and it makes it a little bit more at Leopardstown. That was a cracking effort behind Vicio in a very competitive Mayor's Handicap hurl.
Available on course and Tote.ie Handicap hurl, extended 2 miles the trip, and again just the 5 flights to jump with the 2 in the straight omitted. Expound is the early leader with Fascinating Shadow jumping up on the outside. Bayran, they show in front of Glen Ashling as they make the turn at the top of the track, and the inside of Glen Ashling is Mountain Port. To their outside Kimmy, towards the back as they run downhill both Ballycashin and Miss Gherkin as they continue on the approach to the straight. Expound goes along in front under Daniel King. Bay ran up on the outside under David Doyle in second spot. Fascinating Shadow and Paddy Hanlon to the inner in red and yellow alongside Glen Ashling and Keith Donoghue. Then in blue and white is Kimmy, Danny Mullins around the inner, Mountain Port and Darragh O'Keefe. Alongside that one in the yellow and green, Miss Gherkin, Ricky Doyle, and sharing the back spot Ballycashin and Dunamyler as they head up the straight. Omitting these 2 flights, so the flight past the stands will be their next. Expound with the white cap on the left, Bayran on the right, Fascinating Shadow in red and yellow just behind them. Just ahead of Glen Ashling, Mountain Port going the shortest way to the inner, Kimmy in blue and white still a bit keen, Miss Gherkin just behind them, and to the outside Ballycashin as they head up in front of us. Not much to choose now between Expound on the rail. Alongside is Bayran, just over a length away to Glen Ashling. Close on the inside, Fascinating Shadow, and they're followed into the turn by Kimmy. A bit closer on the outside, Ballycashin. Mountain Port on the inner, Miss Gherkin between them at the back of the field as they head uphill, away from the stands. Heading to the second of just 5 flights. Expound narrowly to Bayran. Glen Ashling, slight mistake, Fascinating Shadow, slightly hampered Mountain Port. Miss Gherkin jumped past Mountain Port. Kimmy to the outside, and then Ballycashin as they head up the far side. 3 flights to jump in the Tote Guarantee available on course and Tote.ie Handicap hurl. Expound by less than a length. Bayran second. Glen Ashling third on the outside. Fascinating Shadow next. Miss Gherkin is in 5th position, and then Kimmy, Mountain Port, and still at the back Ballycashin as they go on to the next, which is 2 from home. Expound joined by Bayran. Glen Ashling a length and a half away in 3rd. Fascinating Shadow is in 4th position towards the inner. Miss Gherkin and Kimmy next as they head on to what is their final flight before the long run in. Expound and Bayran. Glen Ashling to the outside. Fascinating Shadow. Miss Gherkin improves. Break of a few lengths to Mountain Port, Kimmy and Ballycashin as they run downhill. 7 or 8 lengths covering them. Expound narrowly as they run downhill. Bayran, Glen Ashling around the outside. Just behind them is Miss Gherkin in the yellow and green colours, followed on the downhill run by Fascinating Shadow driven along on the inside. To the outer trying to make headway is Ballycashin, a few lengths then to Kimmy, and at the back is Mountain Port as they approach the 3 furlong pole and make the swing for home. Expound on the inside, still the narrow leader over Bayran. Miss Gherkin improves behind them. Glen Ashling coming under a drive on the outside, trying to close is Ballycashin as they head on past the 2. Expound to the left, Bayran in the centre, Miss Gherkin in the yellow and red. To the outside, staying on is Ballycashin, which as they head to the furlong pole. Expound still in front with Miss Gherkin, the challenger, now ahead of Ballycashin and Bayran inside the final furlong. Expound to the inside, near side Miss Gherkin, they'll fight it out. Ballycashin back in 3rd, less than 100 yards to race. Expound finding plenty for Daniel King on the far side, and Expound will win it for Daniel King and Dennis Hogan. 2nd Miss Gherkin, Ballycashin 3rd, clear of Fascinating Shadow.
Expound gains another success going right-handed, this time over hurls, following a success at the level at Ballinrobe 6 days ago, and again has shown Great tenacity on this Trifecta track, jumping well in the main over the 5 hurdles, and then that flat speed that he showed last week over 9 furlongs. Coming to the 4, he did get the eventual second at the furlong pole, Miss Gherkin, to the pin of her collar, and he drew clear despite pricking his ears, and he often does, idling in front. Cheap piece on today, they're always needed with him, but he gains a nice success here for trainer Dennis Hogan and the Corner House Syndicate. Daniel King in the saddle again, and a horse that just tends to do things right on sharp summer tracks, particularly going right-handed. His only success over hurls coming at Tremor last year, and today with the omission of the hurls, that flat injection of speed he showed 2 furlongs out was enough to just get away on the eventual second, who was well supported on stable debut. Miss Gherkin back in second, a well backed Ballycashin also back in third. The winner, likeable type. It took a while for him to get it together and get his head in front, but once he's done that, he's really on a roll for connections, winning last season, as we said, at Tremor over hurls, another win at Ballinrobe, that being his second success on the level at that track over 9 furlong trip. And with the omission of the 2 hurls in the straight, it was just a question if he could pick up and get the better of the well-back second, and his flat speed of Expound coming to the 4, but he does tend to idle somewhat when he hits the front against the hill here at Clonmel. The ears go forward at the 50-yard marker. He's just done enough to hang on and wins on the over hurls here today in good style. Nice success for connections. Expound, another winner here at odds of 11-2, Rachel.